All right, let's go back to our top story. And the number of jobless in the past 3 weeks alone in the United States climbing to almost 17 million. We can speak now to Robert Scott, who's Director of Trade and Manufacturing Policy Research at the Economic Policy Institute. He joins us on Skype from Washington. Mr. Scott, welcome to the programme. Job losses on this level, have we seen anything like it in recent history?
This jump in unemployment is unprecedented in the United States since at least the Second World War. We've seen nothing like this in the last 75 years. So
losses on this level, this quickly, what effect will that have on the US economy?
Well, this is different from, say, for example, the Great Recession of 10 years ago. This was an intentional shutdown of the domestic economy. Estimates are that we could ultimately lose between 20 and 30 million jobs or more by the summer in the United States. And this is going to cause a collapse in economic output. Again, it could fall as much as 15 to 20%, unprecedented in living memory of most people in this country. And that, of course, is going to have negative ramifications for the rest of the global economy as well.
I was going to say, all the nations of the world have deep economic problems from the coronavirus as it is, but what effect will it have, having the US economy under this kind of pressure?
Well, the U.S. is the biggest buyer in the world. We import more goods than anyone else in the global economy. Our imports are going to collapse. That's going to reduce demand in the rest of the world. So trade is going to collapse overall. In addition, this is going to cause a decline in output in the rest of the world. And in the United States, we've been able to respond with a massive $2 trillion relief package. We're already talking about the next $1 trillion plus relief package. That can keep income flowing in the U.S. There are many countries around the world that do not have the luxury of engaging in that kind of deficit spending. They don't have the capacity to borrow at those levels. And added to that, this crisis is also going to freeze up financial markets around the world. Money is flowing into the U.S. as a safe haven. And that's causing financial crises in over 100 countries around the world. They don't have that access to capital that we do.
It's incredibly sobering, isn't it? How far do you think this could go? I mean, some people are saying that we haven't even got to the point at which the figures are right at this point in time. It's going to be more than that. And in the end, we could reach 40 million jobless.
It could go that deep in the United States. We're talking anywhere from 15 to 30% of total employment or total unemployment in the United States already. We've lost about 11.5% of jobs on top of existing unemployment of about 3.5%. So we're already approaching 15% unemployment in the United States. But the question is, how long is the shutdown going to persist? And how long is it going to take us to recover? We've made some of the worst choices in the United States. Other countries have chosen to employ what's sometimes called work sharing, where the government pays companies, for example, in Great Britain and Denmark, they pay them to keep employees on the payroll. People keep getting wages and they remain attached to the firms that they work for. The United States has done a very poor job of that. Instead, tens of millions are being thrown out of work, and they're losing their connections to their firms. And many of these firms themselves are going to go out of business. And so we won't be able to restart the economy on a dime, as some are hoping.
Right. Well, extraordinary figures in extraordinary times. Robert Scott, we appreciate your perspective. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Sorry.